Welcome to a new episode of the Hero Wars Jungle. Yasmine, Yasmine, what a sneaky girl. She looks beautiful in a weird way, but don't be fooled by her appearance. She is like the devil. She loves to attack weak heroes to finish them off. Her damage can be really great, and be careful if you see a Yasmine in the opponent team. Oh yeah, that's her true form. And if you are wondering why she's female, this guy is her husband. Back to the game. Interesting point, she has no active skills except her ultimate. As compensation for this, she has received a not really known high attacking speed. Her basic attack is twice as fast like many other ones. Let's compare it with Kira's basic attack. First attack of Yasmine, first attack of Kira. And pretty fast again, Yasmine. And again, Yasmine. If we watch now at the energy, she gets also for every attack the 10%. Her damage seems to be very low in comparison to Kira's. She does here only 7,000, while Kira does 56,000. And her survivability is also not really great. Yasmine's biggest problem is her armor penetration value. She has unfortunately nothing. Only 3000 armor reduced the damage already to 50%, and that's a lot. Exactly for this behavior she has received a poison skill and a native critical hit chance. For each critical hit the poison will be activated, and it can even stack up to 10 times. The damage is again low, but it can avoid any armor. Here do we see the little critical hit, and the new bar appears immediately with a violet poison symbol. Memorize the 1370 pure damage. The next crit doubles this damage and the time will be extended. With her ultimate she provides a physical attack buff, and it has a positive effect on her poison too. Now it will be complicated. With 2 physical attack buffs, her first poison does 2400. The next one is boosted by Nebula and does additional 5200. And if she hits critical again, even if it's not buffed, all other ticks will be extended with the initial power. So keep in mind all ticks have their own calculation. Additionally, has her poison another great effect. As long the damage over time is on your enemy, it will block some healing. This ability helps to get the kill even if your target has healing assist. And now her amazing ultimate. The text contains a lot of information and we have to understand a lot. The first point, she attacks the one with the lowest armor, in this case Jorgen. She marks him with this violet snake symbol. Then she teleports herself behind him and attacks pretty quickly with 7 attacks, teleports herself to her start position and attacks the marked hero suddenly with ranged attacks. If this hero dies but he will be resurrected by Astaroth, the mark doesn't disappear and she attacks him until her or his death. Interesting point, the mark can't be removed by Celeste Purifying Sphere, but the poison can be cleared. Pooh, that was a lot of information. I give you a little break to breath. Okay, enough. The damage of those attacks are only 60% of her physical attack, which means the done damage is not equal to 7 basic attacks. And we find here the new word paralyze. What does it mean? It feels like a stun, but it doesn't count as a stun. The Hydra is immune to stuns, but Yasmine's Paralyze has the great side effect to interrupt the Hydra. And during her ultimate do we see always many crits. Here comes her green skill into play. She buffs herself with the start of her ultimate for 10 seconds, which means the buff is still active for about 7 seconds when she comes back. And that's the biggest crit and dodge buff in the game. The values are different, but it's around 80%. And her ultimate contains even more. Let's check it out. In this fight we will see how Yasmine attacks Zisha, but she can't kill her, and we see then Zisha's target with a red skull. Now we see this black smoke at Yasmine. At this point she vanishes and is literally out of the game, but only for a short time. Then she's available again and hits Zisha. We see how Zisha is aiming at Yasmine, and now Yasmine vanishes again. Do you find her? That's why Zisha has to aim at Helios. Yasmine appears, but there's a little delay, and now she's available again, but Zisha has already chosen her target. So Yasmine has the crazy ability to avoid also magical and other attacks with this behavior. That makes a fight against her sometimes pretty unpredictable. And that's not all. We have here another ability. It's the immunity to negative effects. If we fight for example against a Leon, she would charm Yasmine immediately with her passive ability when she uses her ultimate at her. But this immunity protects Yasmine to get her kill. She is also immune to any stuns or other effects. Let's talk about what Yasmine counters. She attacks with her ultimate or with the lowest armored enemy, and that makes her unique. We have more to look at the stats of your enemies, and if a setup has a strong damage dealer with a low armor value, we can use her strategically. The game changes a lot with new skins, and every armor skin influences her usage. Actually, we can counter pretty well Zisha. She's a very strong damage dealer and supporter, but has only 2800 armor. That makes her to a perfect target for Yasmine. And with a good timing we can counter even Jorgen's ultimate. Chaotix are very strong and often played in this combination. Lilith's area attack provides a perfect timing, and Yasmine teleports herself to Zisha. This turns Jorgen around, and his ultimate goes now to Yasmine's position. Even if it would hit her, she is immune to it. We have killed Zisha and forced Jorgen to waste his ultimate. Very great move. The next one is Mojo. His rework was very great, and if you want to stop him, Yasmine can do the job. A very useful usage is to counter our lovely Tristan Artemis Fafnir combos. Tristan has only 7000 armor. He is in many setups the lowest armored hero. He provides the necessary penetration for Artemis, and he is a great supporter for her. If you kill him fastly and have also some armor buffs active, then your chances are very good. Yasmine's dodging skills are always a pain for any physical team, and you have to be carefully if you see a Yasmine. The next one is our crazy bird Jet. He is the core for the good old crit setups, and with his death the engine dies too. Now to the team setups. The best one is still with Fafnir and Tristan. Yeah, every agility hero with those two heroes is great, but Yasmine has a big problem with the missing armor penetration, and that makes Tristan to her best friend. Fafnir's shield protects her, and he boosts of course the damage. With Tristan's armor penetration buff, do we see suddenly really big hits, and together with her 7 attacks and the Fafnir's word buff, just amazing. Yasmine's own crazy crit buff shows here his potential. The classic way is to combine her with Sebastian and his ability to apply big pure damage to every crit. It helps exactly to compensate her weakness, and she is able to kill also high armored heroes. We see here those little crits, only 6000, but the additional 43,000 pure damage goes through any armor buffs and the enemy dies. Even a Ziri goes down fastly, and Sebastian is pretty strong against a mirror too. The best is you don't have to care about additional agility heroes. Look how good the damage can be with a lower Yasmine and a high Sebastian. Sebastian has also an ability which reduces the armor. It sounds very good, but with Yasmine you have to be carefully, especially against Aurora. She is the lowest armor tank, and it depends on how much a player has maxed her skin, but Sebastian's ability can change Yasmine's target. And also Isaac's ultimate reduces the armor for the first hero twice, so be carefully. The next setup is a mix of both, Tristan for the penetration and Sebastian for the pure damage. That makes of course room for Jet. Tristan can be really strong because of his little area attacks, but I like this combo more with Dante than with Yasmine. One of my favorite combos is that one, a combination of the nature and honor faction. It's a very stable variant and can be used in the offense and defense. Alvanor's Earth Rune reduces incoming physical basic attacks, and his healing is pretty strong. Tristan's penetration helps Yasmine to get her kill, and we have more slowly one by one. Fafnir is also better protected, and we see how big Yasmine's basic attack can be. Wow, over 300,000. Crazy. And thanks to Fafnir we can protect our supporters from big attacks like a Mira's Gold. How can we counter Yasmine? Yasmine has a critical hit stat, so we can use Helios with his flaming retribution skill. For each critical hit she gets a big magical hit back. But his skill is not all the time active, only when his solar wind is on the field. And he has the same problem like Yasmine, no own penetration. For Yasmine is the hit still dangerous, and her position at the front allows Helios to do a lot damage to her with his ultimate. So it's of course better to assist Helios with a magic penetration supporter, like Orion. Then we hit with the full damage. The next easy counter is Corvus and his altar. He likes Yasmine's poison, and for every tick she gets 15k pure damage back. If her damage over time is active when he summons his altar, then she dies very quickly. But it depends on Yasmine's crit luck. To increase our chances we could use a Mira, or we use additionally Iris. Her damage over time helps to get the kill. Interesting fact, Corvus pure damage hits also during her vanish ability. We see even the inner fire on her, but only the altar hits her. Only at the end Iris did the job. A great alternative is the Zisha boosted Clappy variant. Peppy's boldness skill likes Yasmine's poison too, and together with Cleaver's self-damage, very strong. Faceless is here really important. His stun is essential to reach and to hold her at the position. Even if Fafnir protected Yasmine, is no problem. The next one is Andvari. He protects with his shield exactly the lowest armored ally. The protection is not really high, but this is a special shield. The calculation of the taken damage happens after the mitigation. Here do we see the shield at Dorian, and that's exactly Yasmine's target. Thanks to Corvus' armor buff, the shield can easily withstand the whole ultimate, and he gets even bonus energy. The best is you can combine all those counters, and Iris reduces for Helios the magic defense too. The last counter is Ziri. Funnily not as your enemy, but as your ally. Oh man. Totally weird but true. Here do we see the normal behavior of Yasmine. Mark, teleport, attack and back. If Ziri is on her side and she uses her ultimate, which taunts the enemy and forces him to attack her, that's how it looks like. She destroys Yasmine's ultimate completely. Here again without stopping. Be carefully if you use both in your team, and you might think Ziri taunts also Yasmine's attack as enemy. No. Yasmine ignores it. Counter the counter. Not so easy, but we can do something. For example, against Corvus. Use your own Corvus. And in the best case, add Elvenor. Corvus altar triggers also the other altar. A long time ago it wasn't like this, but they changed it. Now you can destroy the altar fastly with your own Corvus. Elvenor helps to get some healing exactly in the right moment. It works pretty reliably. Another method is to use Dante. His debuff reduces the altar health massively. But you see it's often very close. Nevertheless, a good option. One very easy way which helps against Corvus and Helios is just using Astaroth. Interesting fact, if Yasmine dies during her ultimate and gets resurrected, she stays at that position. Very funny. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you want to support this channel, you can activate the channel membership, or you can watch the following additional advertising. Thanks and peace.